Welcome back to Sentence Smart. Now that we've discussed subjects and predicates, we're going to look at the types of words in English that make up the subject and the predicate. So the first two types of words we're going to look at are called nouns and verbs. Nouns and verbs are the two most important types of words that we use when we speak or write. Why are nouns and verbs so important? Well, here's why. You can't have a subject without a noun. And you can't have a predicate without what we call a verb. Why? Because nouns are naming words. We use them to name, to say who or what we are talking about. Nouns name the subject. You see what I mean? That's why we call them naming words. Nouns name the subject. And the subject, as we know now, is the who and what of the sentence. And verbs are the doing and being words that we use to say something about the subject. The predicate is the verb and all the other words that tell us more about the subject. The verb by itself is called the simple predicate. We're going to talk more about that. I want to be careful not to introduce too many new ideas to you, so we'll just go over some things that we're mentioning now, okay? Now, remember that in the predicate section, the words tell a story about the subject. In the predicate, the verb can tell us things like what the subject is doing or feeling, or what the subject is actually thinking. In the predicate, we can learn where the subject is, or what the subject looks like, or if the subject is happy, or sad, or good, or bad. Every sentence tells us a story about something or someone. In the predicate, verbs help us to complete the thought that began with the subject. So to have a sentence, we need a noun-verb relationship, which is the same thing as saying that we need a subject-verb relationship. See that? So, hey, listen, a noun-verb relationship, that means those two words are going to be connected somehow. And that's the same thing as saying a subject-verb relationship. In English, words establish relationships or connections that help us to understand what they're doing in the sentence. Okay? So since we can substitute words called pronouns for nouns, we can form sentences with a pronoun-verb relationship also. And we'll look at the pronoun in a little while. But now let's spend some time learning about nouns, pronouns, and verbs to see how they form relationships that lead to sentences.